Now, the gangster era in American history ran from the start of Prohibition in 1919 to the end around 1934. But bootlegging and bank robbing were two of the favorite moneymakers for criminals then. In this week's Holding On to History, Northern News Now's Dave Anderson tells us how Proctor was not immune to that crime wave.
This old railroad building in Proctor has had its brick facade covered over by steel, except for one small window. In that window, bullet holes from when gangsters came to Proctor.
"11 bullets still are in the DM&IR building.
It's May 14th, 1929, and a predictable pattern is about to play out on DM&IR Railroad Payroll Day.
The bank president, a policeman, and a clerk from the bank would always bring the payroll from the depot.
In their possession was a fortune by 1929 standards.
$4,000 in $1 bills, and the other one was $800 in silver.
That's $90,000 adjusted for inflation. On that fateful day, Ivor Anderson, Roy Carlson, and policeman Bruce Palmer were performing the transfer. At least two men got out of a car and opened fire with a shotgun and Tommy gun. Officer Palmer was killed instantly, and Anderson and Carlson dropped the money. The gangsters took off at a high rate of speed towards the south.
People think they might have headed towards Minneapolis because that's where the car was stolen from.
The first suspect was Twin Cities mobster Curly Klaus, but that didn't pan out. Suspected bootlegger Clarence Raudio was arrested in Hibbing, but nothing could be pinned on him. 3 men in Memphis were arrested and released when all had an alibi. The crime has never been solved. But changes were implemented to make sure no one else ever got gunned down on payday.
There was more changing of the time so that it wasn't so standard. We just took everything for granted back at that point in time.
Holding on to history in Proctor, Dave Anderson, Northern News Now.
Quite the gangster history there. Now, Proctor Journal publisher Jake Benson is also a Proctor City Councilor. He will be looking into creating a memorial for Officer Bruce Palmer, who had at one time been Proctor's police chief too.